Hello beauties, welcome back to the Jolie Beauty channel. Today I'm very excited because, well, two reasons. First of all, it's my first tutorial using the Intergalactic palette. If you haven't seen the full swatches and reveal, I'll just link that above now. But secondly, I'm very excited because I have someone for you to meet. Come here then, come on then, are you going to introduce yourself? Are you going to introduce yourself, Loki? Oh, you're coming to say hello. Come on then. Up, 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 up. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Everyone, this is my new addition to the family. This is Loki. I think he's a little bit camera shy. Loki! Now he's just destroying the cameras. Loki. They always do say don't work with animals and children. Come on, Loki. Loki, come. Up, up, up. Up, up. Stay. So I'm having to trick him with treats just to get him to show his face. Oh no, he's just awful. He's not exactly like... Loki. I think that's all we might get out of Loki. I think he has to get used to the whole YouTube thing. I was really hoping he was going to be one of those, you know, nice little YouTube dogs that kind of sits here, but no, I don't think so. Anyway, I'll insert a cute video of him catching a biscuit off his nose instead, so you can get to see him. So now you've seen the most important thing, let's get on with the tutorial. I'm starting with the shade Ultraviolet. Ultraviolet is this gorgeous shimmery purple. And I'm going to use the number 9 brush to pack this all over the lid. So I hope everybody's had an amazing start to 2020. I love a new year. It really gives us time to kind of focus on what we want to achieve in the next year and give us a little bit of a fresh start. Did anyone have any good resolutions this year? My resolution this year was to actually stop putting so much pressure on myself, so because of that I actually decided not to make any resolutions apart from that one. At the corner I'm just winging it out slightly. We're going to blend this all up so it doesn't have to be too messy. We just want the darkness to be in the crease still here. Just to blend that out, I'm going to use the shade Antimatter and the number 4 brush, making sure to soften this line that I've created with the purple. So obviously, as you've just seen, I've become a mama for the very first time, my little Loki. So I just wanted to ask you, have you got any pets? I wanted a little doggy for such a long time, but with work and like traveling and stuff, I just didn't have the time to kind of have one. I just feel like I'm kind of in a good place now to be able to look after a little doggy properly. So I was so excited to get Loki. As you're blending this out, just make sure you're tapping on the line to make a really smooth blend. I like to hold my brush right at the end to make sure that I'm doing it as softly as I possibly can. As you can see, those shadows just effortlessly blend into one another. Again, as I come to the end, I'm just bringing and winging out slightly, making sure not to drop it too much above the corner of my eye. If I bring that shadow down too harshly here, it's going to pull my eye down with it. So I want to keep it quite lifted and high up. Once I'm happy with the shape, I'm just going to go back in with the ultraviolet shade just to make sure it is as strong in the crease as it possibly can be to give depth. When I asked you guys... Oopsie. When I asked you guys on Instagram what shade you wanted me to demonstrate in the palette first, a lot of you were interested in the chameleon shades and also the iridescent shades. Today I'm going to be using the iridescent shades. I'm going to show you how to layer them and make a really cool 3D look. It's kind of like using a pigment, but it's much more smoother than a pigment, and because it's got emollients in it, whereas a pigment doesn't, you don't have to use anything underneath it for it to stick. This makes it a lot easier to apply and also a lot less messy. Some of you also asked for me to use the Rick and Morty shades, but I'm afraid I don't have my plumbus today. If you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, you're just going to be like, what are you talking about? So I'm going to use the number 8 brush. This is a nice flat brush, and I'm just going to wet it with any spray. The shade that I'm going to use today is the shade Stardust. This is an iridescent blue. The lovely thing about these iridescent shades is they can also be used as highlighters. So you can use a flat brush to apply this. As you can see, it gives quite an intense finish. The denser and more tightly packed the brush, the more intense the pigment will come out. Or if you like, you can also just use your finger and pat it on like you would do a glitter. The great thing about having toppers like this is it's really flexible. You can put a little bit on and just get a little hint of something, or you can keep topping it up and building upon it to get a more intense look. I'm just going to go to around halfway onto my eye with that. I want to keep this nice and smoky here because I'm going to do a smoky liner up into the crease. Next, I'm going to take the Marc Jacobs gel eyeliner in the shade Blacker, and I'm just going to line my top and my bottom waterline. This is such a beautiful creamy eyeliner. I'm going to take the same pencil and I'm going to go from halfway on my top lid and just messily line the top of my eyelid. It doesn't have to be too perfect. We kind of want this black to be blending into the purple, and we're going to take some shadow next and blend it all together. Taking the number 9 pencil brush, I'm just going to smudge out that liner with a little bit of black hole. By using tiny little strokes, you can make this look very, very soft. When you get to the end of the eyeliner here, you want to take the black slightly higher than you normally would with your solid line and start blending the black into the crease. When I get to the very end, I like to take a bit of a fluffier, bigger brush and just take a tiny bit of the black hole pigment and dot it just on the end there to blend any harsh lines. And as you can see, that liner now just disappears into the crease. I'm always checking to see if it looks even. It is very hard on camera because obviously this isn't like the mirror that I'd normally work into, but if you just keep taking a step back and having a little look, you should be able to see if they're kind of even. At this point, I like to do the rest of the face. I really like to do my concealer and my powder just before I do the underneath of the eye. I find when I'm trying to do a smoked out under eye, it sits a lot better if I've got the concealer and the powder already there. So I'm just going to do that off camera and I'll be back in a sec. So the rest of my face is on. If you want to know any of the products that I used on my face, I will pop them in the description bar below, but I just wanted to show you guys how I do my under eyes. So taking the number 9 pencil brush and the shade Ultraviolet, I'm just going to start smoking that from the outer corner all the way underneath. I tried to blend it in where I put that Marc Jacobs pencil before to make it look really, really smoky. Then with a small fluffy brush, this is the number 7, I'm going to take the shade Antimatter and slightly smoke underneath where I've just placed that purple. For my inner corner, I'm going to use the other iridescent shade in the palette. So taking a bit of Cosmic on the number 10 brush, I'm just going to pop the inner corner. This iridescent shade has a gorgeous like limey green, which should really stand out and contrast against the purple eye. As you can see, that really pops out. So as I said before, if you're feeling really space babe, you can use the iridescent shade as highlighters as well. Sometimes a really good idea just before you do this is to spritz your face slightly so it's slightly damp. So taking your normal highlighter brush, I'm going to take the shade Cosmic and I'm just going to put that on the top of my cheeks. As you can see, I've got a little space invader right here. So if you've got spots on your cheekbones, probably not the best idea, but you can get the idea. Look how pretty it looks this side, guys. Don't look at this side. So this is the finished look. I hope you really enjoyed the tutorial. So me and Loki just want to say thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a big paws up. Is that right? Is that right? And tell us all about your little pets in the comment section below. We want to hear about them, don't we, Loki? Yes. Yes, we do. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.